Svinavatitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. The entire Brahmasutra was concluded in the last class by saying that from the journey to the truth you don't come back. If I understand the truth, there is no question of coming back to samsara. And even if I don't reach the goal, even if I have not understood the truth fully, but I have been a student of truth and living only for understanding the truth, not looking upon the truth as one of the objectives of life, but looking upon the truth as the sole objective of life. If I have been living, even though I die, I leave the body without understanding it, I don't come back to. The journey continues. If I live a life of distractions, then the life of distractions continues. What I do here will continue. If I am living a life of distractions, it will continue. If I am living a life of a journey to the truth, then the journey will continue. The journey will continue. And if the journey continues, then there is no avritti, there is no coming back. It's very logical that what I intensely do now will continue. It's very logical, one doesn't have to unnecessarily doubt it. If I intensely do something, the sanskara will be there tomorrow also, I will feel like doing the same thing. When I inwardly feel the intense desire to do the same thing, who is going to stop me? Who is going to stop me? If I intensely love music today, and tomorrow also it will be my aptitude. What is intense desire today will be tomorrow's intense aptitude. What is intense activity, involvement today will be tomorrow's aptitude. Aptitude is just nothing but a replay of what I have been doing. It is a continuation of what I am doing. There cannot be an abrupt discontinuity. That's wrong. That's not there in life. There is no abrupt discontinuity. Lines of thinking, the inner thinkings don't have abrupt discontinuity. The inner ways of thinking always have their continuity. And therefore, we concluded Brahmasutra on this note. Before I leave the body, if I understand myself, there is no coming back to a life of struggle. In the struggle cannot recur, meaning confusion cannot recur. Supposing I die without knowing, and if I have been in the journey, then also, because the journey, what I have been intensely, the journey that I have been doing intensely in this life will continue. That is the nature. There is no abrupt discontinuity. Duryodhana, did he have an abrupt discontinuity? You know? Krishna tried to tell him, and so many people, Yudhishthira tried to tell him, but did he change? ऐसा होता नहीं है. Therefore, don't come under illogical doubts, unnecessary illogical doubts. Oh, if I have been doing the next, what will be my next? It will continue. And if there are actions, they will bring the results. That is also a kind of part of continuity. If I have been doing a good deed, it will be continuity. If I have been a Duryodhana, it will be continuity. If I have been a Dhritarashtra, continuity. If I have been Yudhishthira, continuity. There is continuity of the line of action, continuity of line of thinking, of course continuity of the self. Because the self is continuous, the lines of thinking that take place in that self also have continuity. Therefore it is perfectly alright when the Shastra says that you don't return from the journey, nor do you return from the objective that you have reached. Yes. If I have been doing samsara, then that samsara has continuity. If I am ambitious for money in this life, if I have been thinking only of money, it will have continuity. If I am making money in this life, oh, what a wonderful thing, you will continue to make money. Even in the next life, you will continue to make money, continue to make money. If you have values in this life, you will continue. Therefore, don't illogically suspect discontinuity. Sometimes, logical doubts can be answered, but illogical, unnecessary, samshaya. Hamshayatma vinashyati. Bhagavan Krishna says. Samshaya hota hai, uska koi aadhar nahi hai. Samshaya hai, bas. That is an imperfection of the individual. It's not created by the observation. Supposing you suspect your wife, it is not based on any observation. बेचारा उनको टाइम ही नहीं किचन से बाहर आने के लिए. वो पूरा दिन किचन में रहते हैं, घर के बाहर जाते ही नहीं है. And you go to office and come back, पता नहीं मेरा absence में कहाँ जाए. What is this? Is it observation based doubt? It's a baseless doubt. Then what is it called? It's not, it is a samshaya. Samshaya means, illogical suspicion, doubt. And such a person who doubts without any basis, vinashyati, Bhagavan says, uska koi moksha nahi hai, so he is useless. Yes. Therefore, the Indians also should not unnecessarily doubt. Do the best, let the best continue. Take up the journey towards the truth, it will continue. If I know before the life ends, it's perfect. Otherwise also there is nothing. Everything is happening not in a state of embodiment. Even embodiment is an appearance in the realm of the truth. Even embodiment is an appearance in the truth, and the truth has continuity. Don't think our existence is rooted in our embodiment. Our embodiment is rooted in our existence. These reversals are very important in life. Reversals. The hall is, there is not that the space is locked up in the hall, but the hall itself is rooted in space. It's called a reversal. A reversal of thinking. If I don't reverse my thinking, I am a sansari. When I reverse the thinking, sansari. Okay, in this manner, one should study Vedanta most happily, thinking that there is no loss at all. It is only gain and gain and gain and gain. Why? It's a journey towards the truth. In the journey towards the truth, you are not even denying yourself the basic needs. Kya hua? You are only avoiding the what deserve to be avoided. You are eating food like anybody else. You are eating, you are drinking water. You are enjoying everything. You are surviving as comfortable as anybody else. Therefore, it is better to live wisely. Use the creation to know the source. Whereas a person who doesn't take up the journey towards the truth, he only uses the creation to mess up his life. He messes up his life. Kya karte hain? Ba. And therefore, study Vedanta with no doubt in your mind. Pray for inner clarity with no doubt. Every right step towards the truth is a right step taken, which you don't have to take again. Like when you go to school, you have learned the alphabet, you don't have to learn it again. ये बातें सोचना चाहिए. Money I may have to earn again and again. But the steps towards the truth, I don't have to take the same steps again and again. There's movement. And therefore, this we have done, we have concluded, Yes. So I wanted to conclude second time. See, and now we have BRAHMASUTRAS. In the Adhyasa Bhashyam, there is an introduction to BRAHMASUTRAS. You see the logic of it, very, very seriously, rather than receiving things very casually. Try to see the sequence of things. You cannot analyze the scripture without actually telling the student what is the problem to be solved through the scripture. Even if I am I may be an expert in studying the scripture, but if I don't know what is that problem which it meant to solve. Therefore, the brilliance of Bhashyakara lies in presenting the universal problem. Everybody's problem, every living being's problem is, it is the truth looking at itself as a jiva, a form. The changeless, the form free, the conscious being seen as a form, and the ever-present being seen as born, the ever-present being seen as subject to change and death, all looking at one's existence contrary to what it is. It is not partially contrary, wholly contrary. It is not marginally contrary, it is totally contrary. least, if I mistake the rope for snake, rope being an object, I am mistaking it for another object called a snake, and so it is a kind of it is not a total contrast. But here you see the subject is mistaken for the object, it is total contrast. The eternal, see, mistaking one non-eternal thing for another non-eternal thing is still a less than total contrast. But taking the eternal for the non-eternal this is something, this what is, the difference between partial contrast and total contrast is unknown to man, I am telling you. ये भाषा इनको मालूम नहीं है. भिंडी बैंगन की भाषा को छोड़ के उनको दूसरा भाषा है ही नहीं है. What language people know? We don't know, we don't think unless we come to Vedanta. It is the Shruti that helps us to think correctly. It is the Shruti. And therefore, the contrast is mind-boggling contrast. The ever-present is seen as temporary. The all-comprehensive is seen as confined. See, the comprehensive, the all-comprehensive is mistaken for locked up in a form. What is like the space is comprehensive of all the other 5 elements, the air, space, water, air, fire, water and the earth. It is comprehensive of the 4 elements, but I say it is locked up inside the room, locked up in a pot. This is a Bhranti. It's a Bhranti. Therefore, the contrast between our existence and the problem is that I take myself to be totally. And therefore, suffering is born of taking the eternal for the non-eternal, the unlimited for the limited, the conscious for the form. Why should the suffering come? Why? Because when the thinking is contrary to the nature, suffering is there. That is the definition of suffering. Suffering is the choiceless result of a contrast between what I am and what I think. बहुत बड़ी बात है. Therefore, unless we understand the very reason for suffering, there is no use, after all suffering is very natural. Because it has been on, therefore I say it is natural. That is not the reason. Consistently being felt, continuity of a problem doesn't make it natural. If it is natural, then it means what the conclusion is, you can't do anything about it. There's a reason. I have been illiterate for ages, let us say. In every generation, Indians have been illiterate. And that doesn't mean illiterate, to natural hai. Kahan natural hai? You go to school, you're all right. Therefore, Bhashyakara says, seriously understand your problem. You don't have a problem. Your view about yourself is a problem. I mean, it is the ones thinking about. It is only Vedanta which says, hey, your thinking about yourself is the problem. It is not your possessions or not possessions, what you have, what you don't have. Ye jo mundane. And generally man will continue to think that his problems are in terms of the material details. Vishaya is looked upon, objects are looked upon as the answer, objects are looked upon as the problem. If I have money, that is the answer. If I don't have the money, that is the problem. If I have the house, that is the answer. If I don't have the house, that is the problem. If I have good company, that is the answer. If I have a bad company, that is the problem. That means we look upon all problems in terms of objects. We look upon the created details as the problems. We look upon the same created details as the answer. And in reality, neither is the problem, neither is the answer. So the Vedanta comes and says, my dear, your view, and take this very seriously. It is your view, how you. And this view is there only because I don't see the difference between the subject and the object. Meaning what I am and what I objectify. Even the subtlest thought is an object because I am the subject in relation to that thought. I am the subject in relation to the body. I am the subject in relation to the mind. I am the subject in relation to the dream. I am the subject in relation to suffering also, ji. I am the subject in relation to everything. Lack of seeing the great difference between truth and untruth. The wrong view continues that I am the object. Bas. And therefore, and that particular problem of self-error, the great anadi adhyasa, this error is called in Sanskrit adhyasa. Adhyasa, a Vedanti must be very familiar with the word adhyasa. Adhyasa means adhi asaha, imposing something on something. The definition is tasmin tat buddhi. When something is not what, when something is not that, I see it as that. When it is not the snake, I see it for snake. When I am not the jiva, when I am not the form, I see myself as a form. Meaning seeing a reality for what it is not is called tasmin tat buddhi. जब वो नहीं है, उसको उस रूप में देखना. तस्मिन् तद बुद्धि. This is called adhyasa, this is called bhranti, this is called liberally called maya, this is called bhranti, this is called sapna, this is called viparita jnanam. All these are all synonyms of self-error, and there is no other adhyasa. Human being has no other problem. When he transcends thought, what is there in sleep? What is the problem? What problem does he have to solve there? When you are fast asleep, what problem do you have to solve? There is no problem. Well, you don't suffer an object, you don't miss an object. Problem ही नहीं है. वहाँ पर कुछ नहीं. And therefore, when I understand myself as distinct from the object, then definitely the problem is solved. And who solves that problem? That I am suffering from a problem of self-view, I can never know independently. ये बात समझना है. I can never figure out, even as a speculative philosopher, as a scientist, or as a philosopher, even if I have the mind of a Plato or Socrates, it doesn't work. We become speculative. Therefore, that human being is eternal, and his problem is non-understanding of it. He doesn't look at himself. He is most of the time, the whole life he spends in all the waking hours, he is thinking about the objects. He is not discerning between subject and object. You see? He is not discerning between one's existence and the object. He dwells on objects. And when we dwell on the objects, it only creates ambitions. Then I live with the objects and the desires for them, and then etc., you know the rest of. Therefore, there is no pramana. Man is not born with a faculty which can independently tell him his problem. My senses are a part of that problem. A sense of individuality is a part of the problem. My fears are the results of the problems. Therefore, pratyaksha, even though we have, technically speaking, you can follow it. Pratyaksha, anumana, arthapatti, anupalabdhi, upamana. You can just forget all the five. Remember two, pratyaksha and anumana. One is perception and the other is perception-based inference. Even arthapatti is a kind of inference. Therefore, this faculty to perceive is a part of the problem. This faculty to infer also is a part of that error. Now a part of that very error doesn't come and it can't tell me this is the problem. That is why we have to see exactly where lies human helplessness. Human helplessness lies in the fact that he is not born with a pramana which can tell him his actual nature. There is no faculty. But he does experience his own nature, but generally man doesn't look at experience independent of thought, because the problem itself makes him think that all experiences are in the form of thought. Every experience is in the form of thought. Thought. And he lives with that view that every experience is a thought, and even if he is having an experience like in sleep is an experience, but it is independent of thought. But he doesn't look at deep sleep state as an experience without thought. He looks at it. He lives with the view that it is absence of thought and therefore absence of experience. And therefore, it is just not possible for man to figure out his nature. Why? Because pratyaksha can't tell him. Pratyaksha can't pertain to the difference between subject and object. Anumana doesn't pertain to the difference between subject and object. And when it comes to the intimate anubhava, he doesn't look at it. He has an error about it. And therefore, the only thing that makes man understand the problem is Shabda Pramana, the Shruti. From where it came, Bhagavan knows, like the Srishti. Parameshwara is the source of the universe, Parameshwara is the source of this way, Shruti also. This statement. परमेश्वर का नाम लिया, अब बस ठीक है जी. Thus, independent of Shabda Pramanam, Jiva can never know what his problem is. Therefore, the most valuable thing in life is to have exposure to Shabda. I am telling you. हमारा बात मान लीजिए. There is nothing that's more valuable than listening to Vedanta Shruti. Vedanta Shruti. That pigeon must have been a jiva in his previous life. उनका संस्कार आ गया, चलो थोड़ा वेदांत चल रहा है, थोड़ा सुन लेंगे. Who knows ji? Who knows? Who knows which jiva is what? Ati gambhiram. This creation is ati gambhiram. Can't take it. In Bombay, when we were all studying with Swamiji, there used to be a dog. We all used to call him Bhagavanji. And that Bhagavanji used to come and lie down behind everybody. He is the last backbencher. And as the class begins, it comes. As the class is over, it goes. For all the 3 years. And I used to think, maybe some jivaji. Who knows? But it doesn't sleep. It's wide awake. आराम से बैठे रहते हैं. कौन जाने? But anyway, we have no pramana. That is why the Shabda pramana is called apaurushaya pramana. Apaurushaya pramana. Eyes are paurushaya, meaning what man is born with them. Purusha means man, jiva. We are born with eyes and ears. We are not born with a faculty which tells us that we are not the form. To unfold, we don't have a faculty to reveal our eternal nature. It is only the Shabda comes and tells me. So Shabda I am not endowed. It is not one of the things, studied to me. It is not something, that is fixed on my head. Therefore it comes from outside, the message comes from outside in the form of a teacher or in the form of an apta purusha. And that is why the Shabda Pramana is called Apaurushaya Pramana. Pick up these two terms. Shastra means Shabda Pramanam, and it has to come from outside in the form of teaching. Therefore, it is Apaurushaya Pramanam. All this is made clear in Adhyasa Bhashya, Introduction to Brahmasutras. It's all clarified. Minus that Adhyasa Bhashya, supposing you straight away begin Athato Brahma Jignasa, then the next you will get stuck if you are a thinking person. Why should I know Brahman? Why should I know Brahman? Why should I know Atma? What is there to know about myself? मेरे बारे में जितने कम सोचता हूँ उतना अच्छा है. And usually I have to look at myself. I am all the time trying to run away from myself, and you arrest my attention and say to look at yourself. It's too hurting. Vagera, 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 vagera. These doubts a thinking person can get stuck in. You can't start a text without knowing what is it is going to give you. No, you should not become so conventional a reader. You should just pick up a book and read. That is not. That mechanicalness doesn't make you a modern person. You should know exactly. That is why the Shastra always says you must know the Anubandha Chatushtayas. Anubandha Chatushtayas means what is the topic of this? Am I in need of it? Is it useful for me? All these things I must see. And am I qualified for it? If I am not qualified for it, then I should first qualify myself and then read it rather than just read it like that. Therefore, Adhyasa Bhashya clarifies clearly. Your problem is Atma Avidya, Adhyasa. and do whatever without correcting the self. You do what, wherever you go, you are the same. It's amazing. You go to heaven, you are the same. You become rich, you are the same. You have material success, you are the same. Super success, you are the same. Supra success, you are the same. Ultra success, you are the same. Ambani success, you are the same. This is something great, Ji. That is why he says, Yat kritakam tad anityam, Shruti says. What you achieve will be lost. Most touching thing it is, sensitive point in life. Whatever I achieve will be lost. When I leave the body, then I have lost everything. I made a beautiful house and all that, and I leave the form, then I have lost all the pleasures of my achievements. I go to heaven and enjoy, and then suddenly in heaven I leave the body. I lose everything. Therefore, anything that is achieved shall be lost. And therefore, if there is something that is not lost, should be something which is not achieved, which is, there is only one thing which is, you don't achieve it on a given day, it is your existence. You don't achieve your existence. Even in life you can understand, you don't come about in the waking state. Waking state thinking comes about, not the one who experiences it. Dream comes about, and when both resolve, that's called sleep. But I don't come about. I witness what comes about, and this is a great reversal of thinking. I come about and I go about is the universal thinking, and reversal is the great Vedanta. It just reverses. No, you don't come about and you don't go. You only witness what comes on. And therefore, without really looking at yourself very seriously, serious means, we have no other duty, we have no other objective, we have nothing else to do in life really. Supposing, we have too many goals, then it's a problem to what to gain and what to. In life, there is only one goal, I want to be full. And therefore the goal is only the self-understanding. If self-understanding is the only thing, then I should look at it. What makes me serious? Seriousness is not, diligence is not whipped up from within. If I understand that it is choicelessly needed, I have nothing else to look for except this. I can't turn to anything else for my answer. I have to turn to myself. There is no other. I have to turn to myself. The wave has to turn to itself, its own swarupa. Adhyasa Bhashya explains away the problem. And the answer is Jnanam. Ajnanam is the problem. Jnanam is the answer. Shabda is the teacher. Shabda is the Pramana. Yes, these three things. And the Shabda having conveyed the truth, Shabda also resolves. Because Vedanta is not like a A dream tiger roars and wakes you up, and the dream tiger also resolves. Similarly, Vedanta also, it talks to you, tells you what you are, and it resolves. Like the lullaby puts you to sleep and resolves. You see, lullaby puts you to sleep. And once that is exactly those who can follow this point. This is exactly what is meant by Karikakara's statement. Jnate dvaitam na vidyate. Purvapakshi says, sir, what about the dvaitam of teacher, student, scripture? There are three details. Yes, there are three details until you understand. Once you understand, those three details are not there. It's like saying, what about these details? There is a mother who is doing the lullaby, and then there is a lullaby, and there is someone who is receiving the lullaby, dvaitam. Once you receive the lullaby, and if it does its job, then there is no triputi. Similarly, the teacher, student, scripture, dvaitam also is not there if what is taught by that scripture is understood. If you follow it, there is no dvaitam. Okay, Ji. I have given you the introduction. This is all Adhyasa Bhasha. Without going through line after line, I have given you the essence of it. Very seriously understand this. Don't receive Vedanta casually. When you have a Ganga Snanam, Ganga dip, just to cool down your body, it's midsummer, and then you want to cool your body and mind, you take a dip. This is called a casual dip. But you can also take a more serious dip. Hey Bhagavan, this is my prayer to you. Help me out. Let there be a change in my life. Let there be a breakthrough in my life. Let there be something good in my life. That's called a more serious dip. You take it, I do it as a nitya karma. Similarly, one can attend the class so casual, ठीक है, थोड़ा बहुत शांति मिल जाती है. 1 घंटा के लिए कम से कम कुछ खा नहीं रहे हैं. नहीं तो घर में तो 1 घंटा, वो घंटा भी छोड़ेंगे नहीं. That is why I tell the people the best way to lose weight is to come to the classes. Haji, you come to the classes and attend all the 3 classes. 8 to 9, 9:30 to 10:30, 10:30 to 11:30. For 3 hours you don't eat. Do you think that you are not going to lose weight? And just think of 3 hours staying at home. Hey Rama, how many breakfasts? How many namkeens and how many mithais and hey Rama, कितने लोगों के दिमाग भी खाते रहते हैं. ये दिमाग खाने पर भी put on weight. Yes, because you get into tension. Whenever you eat others' dimag, then you get into tension. And then to overcome the tension, you start eat something. Yes. Therefore, the best thing in life is to come to Ramana Kendra and sit down, aram se baith ke, Vedant padho. I can't really think of anything better for the people who are in the city. You cannot. Wherever, if you are in Bombay, find out the place where Vedanta is traditionally taught, aram se jaake suno. Kahin bhi jao. Okay, ji. Now, the next is, we are going to begin the first sutra. Athato Brahma Jignasa. Athato Brahma Jignasa. Just to get an idea of the structure of the Brahma Sutras, it has 4 adhyayas. Each adhyaya has got further 4 padas. Under each pada there are many adhikaranas, Under each adhikarana you have some sutras. These are the four. Adhyaya, Pada, Adhikaranam, Sutram. This you have to remember. Now you see, there is a definite number of padas in each adhyaya, 4 padas. Every adhyaya has 4 padas. But there is no certain definite number of adhikaranas in every pada. Therefore now, every pada has some adhikaranas. That is how you have to put it. Every adhyaya has 4 padas, but every pada has some adhikaranas, and every adhikarana has some sutras. Some sutras. Now, the first sutra is a sutra that comes under the adhikaranam called Jignasa Adhikaranam. This is called Adhikaranam, Jignasa Adhikaranam. Adhikaranam means the topic. And this is the first sutra coming under the first adhikaranam, coming under the first pada of first adhyaya. All first G. First adhyaya, first pada, first adhikaranam, and first sutra. Under the Jignasa Adhikaranam there is only one sutra. The Jignasa Adhikaranam, there is only one sutra, and that sutra is Athato Brahma Jignasa. What does Jignasa Adhikaranam mean? Jignasa Adhikaranam means in whose mind can the search for the truth take place? Casually thinking about truth is different. But who is that person? What is it really that every jiva is available for thinking about the truth at a given stage? If that jiva has the fourfold qualifications, amazing is he should have viveka. Viveka means he should understand education is more in the form of discerning rather than accumulating. Education is more in the form of discerning, is called viveka. An accumulative tendency is different from viveka. An accumulative tendency is different from viveka. Viveka is seeing the difference. Say, what am I doing? What should I be doing? What is dharma? What is adharma? What is good for my happiness? What is not good for my happiness? Thus I discern between thing and thing in relation to what I want. This will make me happy, this will make me unhappy. Even though it promises to make me happy, but in time it is going to make me unhappy. I should see the difference. I am defining what is Viveka. Viveka is understanding that discerning is more important than accumulating information. I read a magazine and I go on accumulating whether ye hua, udhar hua. It's all waste of time. Kya karna? So kya karna? What are the food habits of Obama? What will you do with that? I mean, why all that? Except that I know Obama does this, does that, so what? These are all really, sometimes the play of ego. I want to show off how much I know. But here Vedanta says, Viveka, it never talks about accumulation, it takes viveka, seeing the different. Is it related to my happiness? Is it related to my peace? Is it related to my comfort? Is it related to my harmony? And therefore the discerning is a process that has to be done with the reference point called the happiness. That is called viveka. It's a very big thing. Not an ordinary thing. Then you will do exactly what you require for your happiness and peace and the family's well-being, etc. And when the Shastra is taught, you will use that viveka which you have been using in life to discern between the truth and the untruth. Therefore, a person who has viveka is qualified for Brahma Jignasa. The one who has viveka. Therefore, if we generally say the viveka, vairagyam, shat sampatti, mumukshutvam, ये चारों जिनके पास है, वो जिज्ञासु है, वो वेदांत पढ़ सकते हैं, हमारे पास उससे ज्यादा भी है. चलो कोई बात नहीं, चार तो है ही. अगर आपको पांचवा छठवा भी चाहिए तो हमारे पास है. These are casual. These are all casual. It's all just playing with Shastra. Even if it is difficult, it involves kaya klesha. Kaya klesha means physically tough, mentally tough, just to discern between and implement what is related to my happiness and avoid what is not related. And what is vairagya? The person who has got vairagyam, you know vairagyam, that will see Aram say. Swamiji, we have got great vairagyam to listen to this word vairagyam because we are so tired of it. We have heard and heard and heard about this vairagyam. Say vairagyam is what really makes you comfortable, really. Raga torments, viraga comforts. Don't think. Raga is very expensive. Raga implies money. Viraga implies right thinking. Raga it only promises, but it doesn't deliver. Viraga straight away comforts you. Therefore, don't believe. Quietly be wise. Quietly be wise enough to enjoy viraga. Vairagya. Shamaha, damaha, uparatihi, titiksha, shraddha, samadhanam. These various spiritual values, they keep coming. We will talk about it. थोड़ा इसके बारे में बात करने से अच्छा लगता है. This first word, atha, ataha, brahma jignasa. This is the sutra, athato brahma jignasa. The first word, atha, means what? Thereafter. Thereafter means after one has inculcated in himself, one has discovered these beautiful mental approaches, these beautiful ways of thinking. The one who has discovered the validity of these spiritual ways of thinking, after that he can benefit from Vedanta. He is qualified to study Vedanta. Now some people say, why do we have to interpret the word atha in the sense of these values? Why can't we use the why can't we interpret the word atha in this sutra in the sense of just auspicious beginning? Because whenever we begin something, we say Om. We are not interested here to get the sense of Omkara. We are just looking for the sound of Omkara. Sound, sound, Om, Om. Just now in the previous class we said, Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu, Mangalam Garudatvajaha, Mangalam Pundarikakshaha, Mangalayatano Harihi. Omkara also is Mangalam. The very sound of Atha and Om is Mangalam. Maybe the word Atha is used here only for the auspicious sound of it. Is it just an objection? Seriously listen. For which the Siddhartha says, so, no sir, we have both. By the very sound of it, it becomes Mangalam. And there is also a sense. Why do you have to waste your one word just for the sound of it? If it also has, we can get the sense of it. The sound of Atha is Mangalam. The sense of the word Atha is thereafter. Understand? The sound of the word Atha is Mangalam. It has served the purpose, because when you begin the text, it has to begin on Mangalam note. You can say Om and then begin, or Atha and then begin. Om and begin, Atha and begin. But Veda Vyasa begins with Atha. But if you take only the meaning of the word Atha, then what about the Mangalam? The sound of it makes it Mangalam. The meaning of it is thereafter. Yes, we are deriving the benefit from both the sound part of it and the meaning part of it. Therefore, Atha, its sound is Mangalam, its meaning is thereafter. Thereafter means after discover, after becoming matured enough to discover all our well-being lies in our right thinking. All our well-being lies in our right thinking. There is nowhere else. Vivek Vairagya Shamadama Pratyachasta. Okay, sir, then what about Ataha? Ataha means therefore. Atha means thereafter. Ataha means therefore. Therefore means wherefore? Because karma kanda is not the answer. Therefore Brahma Jignasa. Karma kanda is not the answer. Rituals are not the. Karma kanda includes both Laukikam and Vaidikam. If a person is doing business, what is he doing? What is it? Karma kanda or Jnana kanda? Karma kanda, ji. Yeah. ये तो कर्म कांड है. The whole society runs through what? कर्म कांड. ऐसा सब कर्म कांड है. Man is capable of doing, achieving, enjoying. This process of liking an object, working for it, achieving it, enjoying it, this process is not the answer. And therefore, athato Brahma Jignasa. And at the end you have to add verb, kartavya. Karna chahiye. Thereafter, therefore, Brahma Jignasa ko karna chahiye. Meaning what? Thereafter means after Vivekadi. Ataha, therefore means because there is no karma is the answer. Creation is not the answer. Actions are not the answer. Results are not the answer. Heaven is not the answer. In short, Bhagavan's creation is not the answer. Why? Because Bhagavan is the answer. I don't think really Bhagavan would create the world as an answer and then he will be forgotten. Yeah, Bhagavan is not an ordinary thing, you see. Bhagavan is pakka intelligent. He says, he will create a dunya and then he will put you there in the end and make you suffer, ultimately discover that creation is not the answer, then you will remember Bhagavan. Yes. Bhagavan, yada. Therefore, ataha, thereafter, therefore, Brahma Jignasa Kartavya is choiceless. Tabya pratyaya. Tabya means must. You have no choice over understanding yourself. And that understanding has to be done by working for inner maturity. And also understanding there is no alternative. There is no alternative answer. Only Brahma Jignasa is the answer. In this manner, Athado Brahma Jignasa Kartavya is the first sutra, and the more of it we will see later on. And I have to give you a new announcement. I had told that the classes will continue only up to 7th of April. But I am telling now the classes will continue till 16th of April. 16th of April. I am not going to Rishikesh for that program because this is a lot of uncertainty, number one. Program is certain, but Swamiji is not coming. And hum log koi kaam nahi, people from the south will come, the karmathas will come and they will do karma and then do some puja part and they will go away. Now we have started the classes very late. And some of the students started threatening me. They said, if you go away to Uttarakashi, then it is too early, then we will not come back to the class. ये तो बड़ा खतरा है. Classes कैसे चलेंगे? And I said, all right. Then I spoke to Swami Sudanand ji. He said, there is no need to come. Then, so we will continue the classes till 16th of April. And 17th I will go, that's good enough. Then I will come back on 30th of June. 30th of June, not 1st of July, 30th of June happens to be Monday. Okay, and next Sunday is going to be Holi. What do you think? Holi is Monday? Nahi ji.
Sir, playing Holi is on Monday.
Plain Holi. And Pani wala Holi? Pani wala Holi is Monday. Pakka? So then we will have the class, ji. It is good, ji, that I can have a chutti on Monday. Instead of having chutti on Sunday, chutti on Monday is more relaxing. Wow, it's good that you told. I was under the impression that the Holi is only on Sunday. बहुत बढ़िया है. भगवान के अनुग्रह किस रूप में आता है कुछ पता ही नहीं है. भगवान के अनुग्रह कब किस रूप में आता है पता नहीं. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. Thank you.